Hello guys, it's Black Spring with Autumn here on your Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. And it is Friday, April 21st, 2023. Hope you guys are doing well out there on this Friday. And I'm going to try to give you guys a couple minutes because I only have about 15 minutes to burn. But we're gonna do an economic burn. Is what we'll do. But we'll do the most economical burn of time as we can. Okay. So good morning, grand rising to you all. And so I just want to talk just a few minutes here. Good morning, 22 Ronan. Good morning. Yeah, so I decided to come on here. Of course, there's a ton going on. No shortage on issues, right? No shortage on crises. No shortage on concerns. But there is a bill that's coming through. I guess there's a bill that's coming through in Minnesota. Yeah, I guess they're getting ready. They're getting ready to clamp down on to tax your summer. Okay, they're going to tax your summer, your summer activity, especially those that take to the, dare I say, to nature, the great outdoors. If that was a part of your summer repertoire, you might have, you're going to be hit with some fees. Okay. They're going to tax your leisure. They're going to tax everything. Okay. So that's what you're looking at. You're looking at taxes, for a multitude of different things coming out of Minnesota. So allegedly, I don't really want to. Do I want to create the divide on everybody screaming environmental this, environmental that, and you've got all these pseudonyms, or you got all these names for environmental justice. But now green justice, just green, you name it. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about your summer plans. We're going to talk about your licenses the things that you're paying for things. You're already paying taxes for certain things, but you're going to pay more. Okay. So in some cases, it's going to be significant what they're going to be charging. I'm telling you guys, we are on our way to a social credit system. I'm sorry to say, and they're going to do it, and it's being reflected back at you. You filthy, nasty, rotten human beings. You filthy, nasty, rotten human beings. That's the way they're going to justify it. That's the way they're going to dress it up. You filthy, rotten, nasty human beings. You just look at everything that we've been through. You go through the CV-19, the germ shaming, the bug shaming, the breath shaming, CO2 shaming, you name it. Yeah. And then there's also a story out, so everything that's environmental, you're really going to have to, I think people are going to have to start really, just as much as, and I think we were not wise, and, some of us were more wise than others, whether you want to call them preppers or not. Some people, have prepared for a sustainability that does not rely on the regulation of Big Brother and the GOV and the government. But I think we're on the fast track to a social credit system. And it's going to start with, because they already showed you their muscle. We've had a preview into this. The CV-19 was a preview sorry about that. They know that the businesses are going to implement further their agenda. They'll say, oh, we're not going to tell you you can't fly without a beasting. We're not going to tell you can't fly without that. But guess who's going to tell you? They're corporations. They're corporations that whether they receive subsidies or not. So it's going to be no different. So what I'm saying, I'm on about there's something that's being coined out of Minnesota. I guess they have a House whatever 2310, I believe, and it's being kind of coined as a green shaming kind of a bill. So what I'm saying, for your summer forecast, we're forecasting additional taxes on your ice fishing licenses, additional taxes on your, whether it's boating, whatever it is that you typically do to enjoy nature. It's going to be, you're going to feel it this summer. And in some cases, it's probably 150% in which, these prices are going to be marked up. These taxes, these fees. The state of Minnesota is going to charge you more for fishing. They're going to charge you more sorry about that. They're getting ready to charge you more for enjoying the great outdoors, for taking in the air, getting out on the water. This bill is also going to probably put the squeeze on the businesses for not, it's going to put the squeeze on businesses. It also includes replanting trees and aquatic, species, just all kinds of, I'm telling you, we are the Hegelian dialectic. It's not just an idea. I think it's an embodiment. I think we are, to them, they use it. Sorry about all that, the interruptions there. We are the Hegelian dialectic when it comes to taxes. So when they run out of materials, when they run out of justification, they run on you filthy human beings. We're going to tax you. We're going to tax you for your environment, for your existence, for you being on the water to go fishing, for you being, enjoying the great outdoors. Sorry, and lo and behold, his truck shows up and then my situations. Any of the things that you enjoy, you're going to pay more for it in Minnesota. And Minnesota I haven't spent a lot of time there, but some of these Midwestern states, they have tons of lakes. They have tons of things that occur naturally. And I'm sure that our government has done their share of things. They've contributed to, the chemicals. I mean, where does the EPA and all these three-letter agencies come from? They're the ones that have made a lot of the regulations from the past. So if you're saying you're trying to right wrongs from the past, well, who created the wrongs? So shouldn't the citizens tax be able to recover something from the government for what they've done? Shouldn't we, the people, be able to recover something from what the EPA and all of these three-letter agencies, those things have been imposed. They impose those things onto the environment. We, the people, didn't impose them. With all their studies, so basically they've gotten it wrong, but you and I, we have to pay for it. If that's what democracy is, I'm telling you, this democracy thing, I'm telling you guys, it's got to be one of the most disingenuous, most ridiculous things. It's got to be one of the biggest illusions. I mean, what would the American allegory be? What if you were to create an allegory for American democracy, what would that look like? To me, it looked like a cluster muck right about now. Because we allegedly we have this system in which we send people to we elect representatives, but you're telling me it's like a reflection on us. You're telling me we can't even, our system allows us to elect we're incompetent representatives, and then the representatives turn around and make us eat the cost of the mistakes. Is that what it is? Is that what happens? We eat the cost. You people participate in the voting system, and when everything is wrong, when they go in, when your representatives go in and pass these bills, and you have these 3-letter agencies, the EPA and all of these House resolutions and all these things, so you're telling me that that's what American democracy is? We can't even elect people, because when we elect people, there's no accountability. There's no accountability in electing people. There's no accountability for the environmental damage. I'm just saying this is all contradictory. It's all it's counterintuitive to me. It seems like the big lie is the democracy. Our institutions, we allegedly have all this faith in electing people to go and represent us, but then when they screw up and the three-letter agencies screw up, the cost comes back to the citizen, to the people. Let's just say that. I'm not going to use that word, CITIZEN. It comes back to the people. So it looks like the people are getting duped. And the word democracy is more of, it's an allegory. It could be, what is it? What is American democracy? You never get, it's always implied or inferred. You never really get, you get ideas. Ideas are great, but to me, I think we're on the path of destruction. These ideas that have been praised and these illusions that have been appraised for so many years are I think it's an illusion. We have 2A, we have all of these amendments and all of these things, but yet they're pecking away at them all the time. It's just not. And we're losing all of those. All of that is up for grabs, okay? So let's go back to I don't mean to go off on a tangent about democracy, but I'm saying if these people that are these representatives are going into the House or whatever, whoever you call yourself electing or whatever, they're going to throw the cost back on you, which is also themselves. So actually there's no accountability. There's actually no accountability. Because the people aren't going to want to, the people aren't going to want to say, oh, well, I chose this representative and this and the red and the blue over here, and together we still all ended up in the same boat. They're not going to take any responsibility for, the people don't want to take responsibility for who they selected. The selectees in these offices aren't going to want to take responsibility for the bills and the studies and the mining that they've done. So guess who it ends up coming back to? Or the EPA. They're not going to take responsibility for mistakes or choices that they've made. So who does it fall on? So you got green shaming for the summer in Minnesota. So I can imagine that the states that have some of the most, of course, don't get me wrong, the the West, like California, New York, Minnesota, those places they're not pristine because there's been so much stuff pumped into, it's all been, yeah, of course, human beings have touched everything. We've inhabited a lot of places, a lot of spaces. Okay, we have. But in that, there's no responsibility. Nothing. The answer to everything comes back. It's a boomerang effect. It canceled all that. Sorry about that. It boomerangs back to we the people. Okay, we the people are responsible for all the problems that we send people to that we send people to Congress for, and administrative, this administration and that administration and the administration before that. Nobody wants to take responsibility for a crap show. So for your summer, you will be human shaming will bear taxes for you, additional taxes. And so I don't know. Yeah, they're going to say it's all in the name of their religion, their worship. That's what they're going to say. So I'm just saying to you that HF 2310 is what you can look forward to. HF 2310 is what you can look forward to out of Michigan. I mean, not Michigan, but Minnesota. And Michigan's not that far away. It's going to sweep. It'll be a sweeping thing. Before you know it, everybody's going to be getting these extra taxes. But if our ideas are based on freedom, why are we being taxed anyway? Why are you being taxed anyway? Do you not pay taxes already? But you have to pay taxes to do things that occur in nature. And nature does not belong to, we don't own nature. That's what I'm saying. Like, people in California like to say, oh, well, you pay for the sunshine. How are you going to pay for the sunshine? To me, that in itself is almost like worship. You can't pay for something you don't own. You don't own the sun. Who owns the sun? We don't. But we have people that are in control that says we pay for it. We have to pay for items that are surrounded by the fruits of that sun. We have to pay for that. So just get ready for a summer of human shaming and more. All right, guys, I will check in with you later. Hope I said something to stimulate thought. And if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. And shout out to Ronan 22. The system is working perfectly according to them. We are getting farmed. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I appreciate it so much. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys later. Bye.